name's Allison. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the 6 steps for financial freedom. These are just some steps that I've come up with on my own that I try to follow in my life. I think it's really important that you really start thinking about your finances. It's not something you can really afford to just ignore. It's one of the biggest things in your life, so you need to get a handle on it as soon as you can. These are just, a few steps I've come up with on my own. The first step that I think is the most important is just having a plan. You need to set goals for yourself, and those can be whatever goals are important to you. That might be maybe you want to buy a house, maybe you want to have a child someday, or you have, financial goals for children you already have, like you maybe want to pay for them to go to college. Whatever those are, and it can help to really just write down what your goals are in life and just try to stick to whatever goals you have. Just having a plan will make you feel like you have things under control. And it's also really important to stay focused on those goals. If you can't just write them down and then forget they exist and ignore them. So that is my first step. My second step is kind of obvious, but it's you need to earn money. You need to either find a job or find a job that's going to pay you enough to cover your goals if you're not making enough to make your goals happen in your life. You really want to find a job that has good earning potential. If you're making a minimum wage job, you're not going to get ahead in life. You need to make more than the minimum wage. You can also, if you're someone that can't work, if you have a disability, if you're unemployed and you're in a bad job market, you need to look into applying for disability or unemployment. Those are options for some people, and it doesn't hurt to research them and see what's available for you. Another thing is you should also consider looking for side work. There are a lot of little jobs you can do on the side that will help bring a little extra income every month into your life. Sometimes I'll take surveys online. I use Survey Junkie is where I go, and I make $1 to $2 a day when I'm doing it, which doesn't sound like much, but that's $30 to $60 a month extra that I can bring in very easily in my life. So that's just something to consider. My third step, this is I think the most important step, and that's to create a budget. You need a budget in your life. You need to know where your money's going, where it's coming from. You need to have everything outlined. You need to know what is happening with your finances. Once you get a budget written out, it's a lot easier to figure out where you're wasting money, where it's going, and it can help you cut your expenses. It can help you learn how to comparison shop. There's so many things you can do that will help you financially once you get that budget in place. So it's really, really important. And I might do a video on budgeting later, I don't know, we'll see. But it's really crucial that you have a budget written down somewhere. There are apps on your phone you can use if you don't want to just write it out on paper. I like to write mine on paper every month, and I do a monthly budget, so I know exactly what I'm spending and where my money is going. My fourth step is to start saving. You need to have a savings account. You need to have an emergency savings account with at least $2,000, and that might be more if you live in an expensive area. You need to have money to cover if an expense comes up. If your car breaks down, if you get sick, if something explodes in your house and you need to replace it, if you own a home, you need to have money. And I actually think you need to have a larger amount if you own a home. You probably need at least $5,000. It sounds like a lot of money to some people. It can be hard to earn enough to really build that savings account, but you can start small. You don't have to have that amount overnight. You can budget a small amount every month to start building it. And you don't touch that money. It is money for absolute emergencies. And you just have to have it. You have to. There's another thing that I've never heard any financial person talk about this, but one of my friend's moms years ago told me every woman should have an account that no one else knows about. And that account is specifically if they get into an abusive situation, they can get away without having financial repercussions of, getting away from that. And I'd never heard that before, and I thought, wow, that is good advice. And even men could, benefit from that. You don't want to be in a situation if someone is physically hurting you that you can't escape. You don't want to be trapped. So I really think it's important for women to have a small secret account with a little bit of money so they can get to a hotel or, stay somewhere for a few weeks if they need to. It's just something to consider. You don't have to do it, but I think it's really sound advice. The number 5th step This is the one that's actually pretty painful, I think, for people, and that is that you need to pay off debt. Debt is a horrible burden in life. You don't want it, you don't want to carry it. You will feel so much better when you get rid of whatever debt you're carrying. Right now, the only debt I have is my mortgage payment, and that is a wonderful feeling, and I really want to pay off my mortgage early. I'm working towards that goal. There's a lot of different strategies to how to pay off debt. The two big things people talk about is paying off your debt that has the highest interest rate first. Other people do a strategy where they pay off the lowest balances first. And I really think that just depends on your personality and your spending style. If you're an impulsive person that's not really controlled, you will probably do better paying off your small balances first. You'll feel like you're accomplishing something, it'll motivate you, it'll drive you to really just pay off those debts. If you're a more controlled person that can look at things in the long run, you're probably better off paying your high interest rate debts first. Those are usually like credit cards, sometimes a car payment, but budgeting extra money to make towards those payments will make a huge difference overall financially for you. And this last step that I'm going to talk about, my number 6 step, is that you need to invest. You need to have a retirement account set up. If you have a job that offers a 401k, you need to set that up. I really think Roth IRAs are a good option for people. I'm not, a financial advisor, but I think it's smart to be planning, and those are things that you need to look into because you don't want to get to retirement age and have nothing because you cannot depend on Social Security. So you really need to consider those options as well. Really just having any kind of focused thought and energy on getting your money under control is going to help you because you're thinking about it, you're going to be making steps to improve it. It's just something you don't want to ignore. So I hope that this video is a little bit helpful to someone. I hope it maybe inspires you to sit down and really look at what you're doing financially. And I hope you have a beautiful day today. So thanks for stopping by my channel.